Hey, welcome back guys. So this is the second part of this series. In this video we are going to talk about how to make a real terrain inside the Blender. In the previous part we have talked about how to texture paint the terrain. So the same method we are gonna make the terrain and texture paint it right inside the Blender. So first of all, this is the default scene. We are not going to use the previous model or something. I'm just going to go with this one. So for now, select everything by pressing A and X, delete everything. So I'm just going to add a new plane for a terrain. You can go inside the edit, preference, and inside the add-on we have an add-on called landscape. Add mesh a.n.t landscape. There is add-on named like that. Just search land, you will got that. So landscape add-on is there is a mesh ready with a landscape. So here is a like a mountainy space, and you can just play with some values here to get some another sort of mountain if you wanted. But yeah, I'm not gonna go with this kind of technique because we want our personal kind of, so we have more control over the whatever we are gonna dealing with. So I'm just gonna make this dimension to be 200 by 200 in each direction. Okay, so this will be a huge plane. So I guess, yeah, this is a huge plane. So I'm just gonna select this plane inside the edit mode and press Ctrl R and hit 20 on the keyboard, so that you will have 20 subdivision. Then right click to cancel the movement of the subdivision. So now again go to the side view and press R and again hit 20, so that we have a smaller 484 square faces going on our mesh. Now just go inside the modifier panel and add a subdivision modifier and make this to be a simple, not clerk. Now increase the viewport value so that we will have a faces count something around like 1600 or 3000 is completely fine value, I guess. You can see, okay, this is too much denser. I'm just gonna go with like value of 700. Yeah, I guess fine. This is not too much value, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with this one. And if you need, we can just add some details later on. So we have to just sculpture this for a terrain, and we got a pop-up called object has non-uniform scale. So non-uniform scale, you can see right here inside the transform by pressing N. We have scale of 100 by 100 by 1. So the scale is not uniform, like there is 1 on the Z axis and 100 on X and Y axis. So this should be 1 1 1 or 100 100 100 on the all of the axis. So you can just make this to be 100, or you can just select the plane and press Ctrl A and scale, so that the whole scale will be 1 1 1, but dimensions will remain same, like 200 meter by 200 meter, but the scale will be different. Because so this is important factor when you are unwrapping a model or sculpturing any model, you should scale the model by pressing Ctrl A and scale. Now if you go inside the sculpture and check this X button right here, so that it will not mirror something like this. We don't want any kind of mirroring, we just want a simple kind of mountain right here. First of all, I'm just gonna make this a shade smooth, so that we will see whatever is going on inside the sculpturing. So inside the sculpturing window, I'm just gonna make a grass field, a open field at one point, and a small mountain going on the other point. And we will have some background mountain, but there is gonna be a different technique for the background mountains. So we will talk about in the next video about that. So I'm just gonna sculpture a small mountain kind of thing and make this to be like mixing with the land, not like any a large angle of what can you say, a slope. There should be not a huge slope on the mountain, just make it to be settled effect, like it should just mixing with the grass field right here. So make this to be a settled, not too much like if you are making something around like this mountain or like this, there should be no much this much big slope. So I'm just gonna press shift to adding the smoothness to the mountain. You can see if you just in the normal brush, I'm just going to use a normal brush for sculpturing. You can add details after reducing the size of the brush by pressing F. So you can press F to increase or decrease the size of the brush, and shift F to increase or decrease the strength of the brush. But yeah, you can really do it from right here, like radius, or you can just remove the radius, but you can see right here how much big it is gonna be. So I'm just gonna put the strength to be 4 by pressing Shift F and F to control the size. I'm just gonna put something size like this and add some details of the mountain that real mountain could have. So this mountain is not that much big. This is just like a smaller mountain in ordinary town, because this is not gonna be a mountainy area or something, because this is just a simple area. So I guess this is looking really fine, because we don't want any kind of details. We will add details after all, after some time when we are gonna need it. So as I have planned for this terrain, we are just gonna add a road from some part of the terrain, and then other part would be a grass field. So I'm just gonna name this to be terrain. So now one thing you can see inside the UV editing tab, if you select everything, the UVs are like a normal plane, because this is a stretched part or something. There is gonna be a little bit of stretching, but this is just a settled effect, so you are not gonna notice any kind of stretching or something. So I'm fine with it, like a normal unwrapping of this mountain. So if you want to unwrap it, you can Smart UV project, but there will be seams inside the mountain, so I don't really want that. So I'm just going to go with this the effect that I'm okay with. So you can see right here, I'm just going to planning the path from this area, and other area will be a mountain. Other area would be a grass. So as I have talked about in my previous video, you can see right here on the eye mark, I have talked about how to make a realistic grass inside the Blender, and in this video I have talked about how to make a grass for animations or game ready, because game ready grass really have really low face count. So I have talked about both the grasses in this video. You should check this out video of how to making grass, because I am not going to show how to make grass inside the Blender. I'm just going to show how to add on the terrain. So I guess this is a tutorial about the terrain. So I'm just going to go back importing those grass that I have made in the previous video. Okay, so I have three kind of grass that I have talked about making in the previous video. So I'm just not gonna really show how to make this kind of grass inside the Blender for now, but yeah, you can really see in that video. Just check that video out again. There is a you can see the video by clicking on that eye mark. So if you go far away from the terrain view, you can see the grass is this much big, so that the mountain is not that much big in the scene, because I am not going to make too much huge scene or something, like making too much huge mountain or something, because this is a simple scene made inside the Blender. So I have like a grass version 1 to 2 kinds of normal grass variables and one game ready kind of grass. So this is game ready. You can see it has really low poly count. You can see by pressing slash, you can just focus on this grass. You can see right here it has a very low poly count. So yeah, again I'm just clicking number slash for this kind of thing, like getting a local grass view by pressing number slash. So now this is okay. Now I'm just gonna add a textures for this grasses. I'm gonna add a texture for this grasses inside the shading panel. So inside the shading, okay, I don't know where the hell that grass grow. If you don't find any kind of grass, just select it in the hierarchy and press del button on the number pad, so that you will see where is that grass go. So I've just created simple material for this grass. I'm just gonna name grass v1. Okay, I guess spelling mistake, but yeah, I don't mind with that. So I'm just gonna open the grass. So I am using Quixel texture for the grass, as I used in the previous video. So I'm just gonna use the Quixel texture for now. So here I guess I have the Quixel textures. Yeah. So I'm just gonna, this is a albedo map. Just plug this in the albedo. Now get a normal map. Now plug this one inside the normal, make this to be a non-color. I'm not going to talk about making a material, because this is really basic part of the Blender. You should know the basic part, because this is the intermediate tutorial. Now add a opacity and plug the color inside the alpha, make this also a non-color value, and just minimize the texture. Now this is a roughness value. I'm just going to add this color inside, right inside the roughness, and now get rid make this to be a non-color. and plug this downwards. Now if you see how this material is gonna look, it will take some time to reload, cause I don't know, after the update the blender material window has been slowed down a little bit. So this is one grass, and the another one I'm just gonna make same material for this grass, cause they are unwrapped likely, and there is some another material for this grass. So I'm just gonna make this to be grass game ready v1. Okay, this is game ready grass, so I'm just gonna make this to be game ready. So we are just gonna place this grasses, which is a highly high poly grasses, at the closest to the camera, and this grass, which is low poly grass, at the away from the camera. So I guess I have that grass. I'm still gonna use the Quixel texture for this grass also. I don't know, I'm not finding that folder, just wait. I have too many Quixel textures on my PC. So now I'm just gonna add plug this albedo texture right inside the albedo here, and yeah, normal map here, and plug this right inside the normal map. Make this to be non-color. Okay, I don't know why the hell is this lagging too much. Make this to be non-color, and find the, where is the roughness map, specular roughness, yeah, right here. So plug the color inside the roughness map right here, and make this to be non-color again, and metallic is obviously 0, so I'm not gonna play with the metallic that much. And inside here you can go inside the material setting, inside the game ready grass we have an option called viewport display, setting. Inside the setting we have blend mode opaque. Just make this to be alpha clip. So inside the material panel now you can see the black value around the grass will be removed. So okay, yeah, I know this is gonna happen because this material window is bit much low, because there is no grass kind of looking things, because I haven't plugged the opacity map, which is this opacity map, inside the alpha value right here, and make this to be a non-color texture. Okay, yep, again it's gonna take a time, because I don't know, really I've been noticing after the update this bit much, so I guess it will be it could be a bug on my PC, but yeah, I am noticing some facts. So you can see this grass is not that much high poly, but this grass is high poly, totally high poly, looking really good. So we are just gonna use it as a background reference, and this to be a closest to the camera. So inside the shaded view again we have created a material for the grass and also the another grass. Now if you want to just texture paint this terrain first, so this is a really good idea. I'm just gonna get rid of these 3 grasses which we are not gonna needing. I'm just gonna add a material for the terrain. So as I have talked about in the previous video how to make a material for the terrain, I'm just gonna make it a little quick. I'm not gonna show you how to make it, so you have to just see the previous part of first part of this series. So link for that would be in the description, or you can just press on that I mark also. Now I'm just gonna create a material and fast it forward. Okay, so I have just created a little quick 2 materials with just a albedo and normal map. Now the one of them is just like soil, and another one is a grass. So I'm just gonna use a mix shader for mixing those 2 shader on the different shaders. And now inside the factor I'm just gonna plug procedurally just here and there place the all the color all the textures we wanted. So now just create a noise texture and again create a color ramp and plug the color inside the factor of the color ramp and color of the color ramp inside the factor of the mix shader. Now if you go inside the material panel is gonna need some time to be reloaded because these are two mix shaders. And yeah, now you can see we cannot really see where is the grass texture, but little bit part of the grass texture and the another texture that we have. Now if you now play with the value of the color ramp, if you like make it to be this black all the way here and this value is right here. Now you can see in some part we have a grass texture and in some part we have a this soily forest ground kind of texture. So this texture, both the texture I am using from the Quixel, which are totally free textures, you can really download them. I'm gonna have a link inside the description. So yeah, this, and you can just play around with the details, like you can scale, like make it the scale to be 10 so that there will be more here and more scattering, but I'm just gonna go with the 5 value is fine. And you can just play around with this also, like make it detail to be 10, but at 10 detail not gonna affect that much anything. Or you can just increase the distortion by like 2, but increasing distortion it's gonna create a weird effect, like a wrinkliness effect inside the texture. So I'm just gonna make this to be a 0 all the way to the 0. So now you can see the texture is looking really good, like mixing of the texture doesn't there is no noticeable tiling. We cannot really notice the tiling in here, but yeah, this texture is little bit big. I'm just gonna increase the mapping of that texture, like making it to be 15 by 15, I guess 15 by 15. Yeah, so now it's looking really good. Yeah, I know this is still you can notice the tiling, but yeah, after adding the grass you are not gonna notice anything. So I'm just gonna create another texture for the path that we are gonna draw from the middle of the terrain. Yeah, again I'm just gonna fast forward this part also because you know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I have created another material for this another mud material for which is we are gonna use as a mud texture or a road texture inside the for our terrain. So I'm just gonna create another mix shader and plug the shade this one shader at the bottom and the another one which is a mud texture at the top, and this shader all the way into the surface. Now create a new texture, image texture, image texture, and now plug this image texture right. Okay, again lagging, I don't know why the hell is this lagging too much today. So now plug this color right inside the factor and create a new image right here. You can make this resolution to be anything, but I'm just gonna go with the 1K resolution here. And now you can just rename the texture whatever you want, but this is kind of universally known as a mask map, so I'm just gonna make it mask 1. So I guess mask 1 is really fine. Now clear. Now go inside the texture painting. So you can see inside the texture painting there is gonna be a totally black texture. So inside the texture painting I'm just gonna draw a road from here to all the way to here. So first of all we have to like little bumpiness for the road inside the inside the sculpturing. So I'm just gonna sculpt the road in the little bit time. So I'm just gonna select this brush and make the path right here, like a little bit bumpiness right inside the ground. So this path shouldn't be this much straight. I'm just gonna make this little bumpiness right going on from here to here. So now you can see, okay, I just messed up, just a path right from going from here to here. So you can see there is a little bit bumpiness in the right inside the road for this path. So I'm just gonna select this flat brush and move this flat brush all the way inside the path so that there is a flat surface for the road right inside this. So I'm just gonna go inside the texture paint mode again so that we have a texture painting surface. So now you can see right here we have road. We can see road right here inside the texture painting view. I'm just gonna add that white color inside this road. So you should just add at the corners of the road also. So I'm just gonna add this at the corners also. You can just make it all the way to the here, and yeah, you can see I'm not gonna making a very large terrain. This is just a tutorial, so I'm just gonna make a small terrain, but yeah, it's not gonna look like a small one after rendering. So there is just a camera techniques for this kind of stuff. Now you can see the road, there is road texture has been marked. Now we should talk about the camera now. Where should you put the camera? So first of all, just add a camera by pressing Shift A, and now align the view. Like if you should see a little part of road, little part of the mountain, and whole part of the grass. So I'm just gonna add this camera. In this we can see the road, we can see the mountain, and we can see the background sky, and also we can see the ground. So now I'm just gonna select the camera and press Alt, Control and 0, so that the camera will be right aligned with that view. You can see right here the view has been aligned, but yeah, it's little bit different view, little bit just. So adjust just a little camera by little bit value. Now move it around here, and inside the camera you can see we have a focal length. Don't play with this value if you want to play with, but you can play, it's your choice, but I'm just gonna keep it to be a 50mm focal length of the camera. So I guess this is a really fine value. So now if you go inside the shading, where we have created a material for our terrain, so I just want to check how this mud material is gonna look. So inside the material panel, the material will load, and now you can see the texture is inverted, cause we have plugged the normal values of the shader. Plug this one at the bottom. I'm just gonna go inside the shading view, so there will be no lag while making the material. Now and plug this one at the top, and now inside the material panel you can see the road is gonna look really good. Yeah, load up, man. Now you can see there is this texture going on in the between, and now I'm just gonna increase the value of the scale, like 4x4. So yeah, 4x4 is looking really good. So this is a road texture from the between, and the whole other is a terrain. Now you want to play with the value, we should add a grass on the whole terrain, because this is looking really empty terrain. So now adding grass is really simple inside the Blender. So you should go just inside the properties, particle properties, and then add a new particle and make it to be a hair. So you can see the hairs are coming right off the terrain. Now go inside the render view here and render as object instead of path, and now instantiate the object, and grass would be a version 1. Now you can see grass is really little. You can just increase the scale right here, like increase the scale by some value like this. Yeah, scale should be something around this, and randomize the scale so that there will no repetition, noticeable repetition going on. Now go inside, right inside here you can just change the number of the grass, but I'm just gonna make it to be advanced so that we will have the control over rotation also. So add a rotation, and inside the rotation just randomize the rotation, and increase the phase, and just randomize the phase, so that the grass will be rotated randomly all over the terrain. But as I have talked about, we are just gonna add the grass at the very start of the terrain, and in the background we are just going to use a low poly grass, so that we will have a not that much of lag or something. So how to do that? So this is really easy. So you just have to select the terrain and just go inside the weight paint mode. So inside weight paint mode you can see we have a whole blue part of the terrain. So for now I'm just going to make this number to be a 0, so that there will be no lag at all. Now if you want to add a grass in the top part, just make this to be a red value, make this weight to be a 1, and start drawing. Okay, again, yeah, sorry. Now start drawing at the front. Now you can just increase the size of the brush and start drawing as you want. I'm just gonna select this and this start point for grass 1. But yeah, we have another kind of grass 1, low high poly grass also. So I'm just gonna make this weight all the way to 0, and little bit space in between this also, so that only the red area gonna contain the grass and other area will be not. Now if you go inside the object window and now make this number to be 1000 again, so there will be no real effect. The grass is still gonna be all over the terrain. Now you just have to go inside the vertex group, and inside the density you should just select this group which we have made inside the group panel. We have group, and I'm just gonna name this group to be a grass 1. Okay, again spelling mistake, yeah, but never mind, I'm not gonna focus on the spelling mistake or something. Now we have some space going on here, here and here, so now we just have to cover up the space. Now just create a new vertex group and go inside the weight paint mode again, and I'm just gonna inside this I'm just gonna make this number of numbers to be 0 again, 0 again, so that there will be no lag while drawing. So now add a grass randomly anywhere. Just increase this weight to all the way to 1, and add a grass randomly anywhere you want. I'm just gonna make this at the really start point of this, and yeah, I guess this value is fine for me. I'm just gonna go back to inside the object mode again and add new particle setting, make it to be here again, and now render as object, and now insist and need another version of the grass. Now increase the scale of this grass by a little bit amount, randomize the scale, and again you can totally go inside the density and make this to be second group. Now if we just change this value to be like 500, there is not going to be that much big effect, and this value also to be a 500. So now you can see at this part we have a grass, and in the bottom in the back part we don't really have any kind of grass. So I'm just gonna add another particle system, and you can just rename this to be grass low poly. Now make it to be here also, and change this path to be render to object. Now insert an object, and this should be a grass combine. Now increase the scale of this also, so that it will just cover up the whole terrain, like something around this scale is really fine value. Okay, sorry, 0.44, I guess, yeah, 0.44 scale is really good. Now you can see we have this grass all over the terrain. We don't want in middle of the road or in the first starting part of the terrain also. So I'm just gonna go inside the weight paint mode again, and yeah, for reducing lag again I'm just gonna make this to be 0, this grass to be 0 also, sorry, emission 0 also, and this grass to be 0 also. Now I'm just gonna go inside the weight paint mode. So now you can see there is a already weight something going on right here, but I'm just gonna add this new weight paint and name this to be grass combine. Okay, whatever it is, I'm just gonna start painting right here. Like you can paint all over the terrain except the road. You should have the road excluded from your render view. Now I'm just gonna paint it in this area also, so that there is no you should just make sure that there is no gonna be on the road, yeah, and also not in the back parts, cause we don't really want any kind of lag, and increase the render time. You don't really want add grass inside this part, because this is not really visible in the scene view at all. Now this is a weight painted grass right here. Now go inside the object mode, and inside the particle panel change the density of the low poly grass to be density of group new. Now make the number to 1000, so that the grass will be okay. Yeah, 1000, but yeah, I guess I selected a wrong group. You should just select the combined group. Now for this, make this value number to be 500, and this grass to be 500 also. So now I guess this is gonna look really good. I'm just gonna go select the camera, and inside the world I'm just gonna add a simple skybox. We have a sky texture right here, so this is a really simple skybox. Now I'm just gonna change the renderer to cycles, and right here you can see how this grass is gonna look. So you can see this is the final render. So this is not that much great because we haven't added like any details like rock or trees or something, or nothing is in the background. This is just a HDR that I have used as a sky texture. But you can see the grass in the background is looking really good, and also the grass in the foreground needs a little bit touch up. Like this is not working like as a realistic grass. This is just looking something like a plastic or something, cause I haven't really played up with the value of subsurface scattering, which is really important in the sense of the grass. And we also have to add a lights, cause in this I just have used the HDRI map. But yeah, whatever, this is looking completely fine. So after adding so much more details, it's gonna look really light up the whole this scene. So if you have any doubts in this whole tutorial, so you can just contact me on the Instagram. The link for that would be down below inside the description, or you can just write the comment on this video. I will just clear up your doubts. And if still you have any if you still got any doubts, I will just suggest any kind of other tutorial to you. Just contact me on the Instagram. So I guess this is it for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to never miss any another update. So till then, bye bye.